when you first log in to the COBRA portal, you will be presented with your home screen. To the left, you will see the menu section. That is over here. And on the home screen itself are the two most frequently used tabs, which is the Find a Member and Add a Member. And I'll have more information on those two tabs in just a moment. I'm going to start with each of the tabs over here in the menu section, and I'll highlight the most frequently used tabs. The first tab that we will start with is the Accounts tab. This contains information such as your employer profile. This will be the demographics for your specific company. Another tab would be the Contacts tab. This section will have the plan contact information that was provided to us. You can edit contacts, but we would prefer if you reach out to ProBenefits if you need to make a change, add, or remove one of your contacts. The next tab is the Plans tab. That particular tab will house all of your COBRA eligible benefits. You can drill down on each of these benefits. We'll go ahead and take a look at the Vision Plan. And this will give you some basic information. One of the most important bits of information is the benefit termination type. This particular benefit was entered as termination at the end of the month. And you can scroll down and actually view the rates for each of your plans that have been entered into the COBRA system. And this will include the effective date and so forth. The next tab that I would like to talk to you about will be the Members tab. This section will be used to add new hires that are on COBRA eligible benefits, and it will also be used to terminate an employee. Please note, if we receive a file feed for your group, you will not be entering new hires or terminations in this system. So this section will cover plans that report qualifying events to us through the website. The first item that we will look at is how to add a new hire or perhaps a newly eligible employee. In this particular case, we are going to choose the New Hire tab. And if you remember, that tab was also available on the home screen when you first logged in. Again, only report those employees that have elected a COBRA eligible benefit. And for billing purposes, you will want to enter new hires with their eligibility date and not the hire date. So now I will go ahead and just quickly enter a new hire for you. This particular demo plan does have divisions, so I will choose a division. If your group does not, you would just leave that blank. And again, I am going to choose the date that John Smith actually became eligible for benefits. So we'll go ahead and choose August 1st. There are a few items on this screen that are pre-checked for you. The first one being the Send General Rights letter. And then this one, if you have any dependents, it will make sure that we're using the same address for them. These are pre-checked. You want to leave these checked as they are and not make any changes to those. Fields that have the asterisk are required. That's pretty standard across the board. So I will go in and finish entering. And then bear with me one moment. And then you will simply click on the Add Member key. And that will bring you back to your members screen. Once you enter a new hire, the system will generate the general rights notice, and that will be mailed out the next business day. The next item that I will show you is how to terminate an employee. So we will go over to the menu over on the left, and we'll choose Find a Member. There's any number of ways that you can search for a member. Typically, I would just recommend using the first name and the last name and then choose Find Member. Your employee will appear at the bottom, and you would go ahead and click on his name, and that will bring you to his particular profile. So right now we're in John Kaplan's individual profile. This is just some basic information on this screen. The next step would be to go back over to Actions, which was made available once we started accessing his account. From here, we are going to clone his employee record, which the system does call a new hire record, to a qualified beneficiary. The first thing the system will prompt you to do is to verify that we have the most up-to-date current address on file for this particular employee. Again, anything with an asterisk is required. The only thing that will need to be completed on this particular screen is you will need to add in the employee's date of birth. So in this case, we will just go ahead and choose one and then continue on to the next screen. On this particular screen, you do not need to use this top section unless you do have rates that are tobacco, non-tobacco. Those are not as common as they used to be. So you can just leave those the same. Employee type and payroll type and years of service, you will just leave as is. You do not need to make any changes to those. The premium coupon type should always be on coupon book. This will make sure we generate correct information to your termed employee. The event category, typically this is going to almost always be employee. You would choose dependent if you have an employee that has a child that turned 26 and has aged off the plan. You might use it in case of a divorce. The spouse would need to be offered COBRA, and perhaps even the death of an employee. You would use the dependent tab. The event type, you have various options here. Termination is generic and really would cover all of your situations, but you can choose something more unique to that particular employee. For this purpose, I'm just going to choose the termination, the generic choice. The event date, that needs to be the actual termination date. the rates are programmed to end on the event date or at the end of the month. There's some other additional options, but those are the two most common. So we do want you to report to us the actual termination date. And in this case, we will go ahead and I will just choose 9/15. I am going to change his enrollment date to August 1st. That's when the benefit started for this particular employee. And the last question you will be prompted to answer is, has this member already been offered COBRA? You'll choose no, and then save and continue. The next screen, we're going to add plan-specific information for this employee. You do need to report to us any benefit that they were on, any COBRA-eligible benefit that they were on at the time of termination. So I will go ahead and just add a few benefits. And this gentleman was on vision, employee only, or QB only. Down below, you will see rate information for that QB only rate. And then you'll also see information on the actual COBRA coverage. And we'll go ahead and save. And then we can go back and add any additional benefits. One reason you enter those individually is there could be some benefits that perhaps they have employee spouse or some other type of employee dependent. Once you are done entering those benefits, you're going to choose Save and Continue. You would add any dependents that would need to be added. Subsidies on the next screen. If you have someone that you're going to pay perhaps for their first month of COBRA, you could enter that information here and then Save and Continue. This next particular section, this applies to very specific plans. If you have any questions about this, just feel free to reach out to us. And we are now going to add the member. And John Kaplan has been successfully added as a qualified beneficiary. His COBRA specific rights notice is going to update overnight, and that will be mailed to him on the next business day. If you would like to see the communication that was sent to John Kaplan, either the general rights notice, perhaps the specific rights notice, you can go to the Communications tab and pull up actual PDF copies of what was sent to that employee. At any time when you are terminating an employee or adding a new hire, you can cancel, you can go back to previous pages, you can always start over if you have any issues. The next tab that I will point out is the Imports and Reports tab. There are two COBRA reports that are helpful should you have anyone on COBRA or within the window to elect. The first that I'll show you is the Remittance Report. To access this, you would go to Accounting Report and choose your report type, and we'll go ahead and choose the Remittance Report. This report is available on the 15th or the next business day and includes payments received through the 10th of the month. You'll find that there's no report available for any months in which you have no payments. As a reminder, ProBenefits reimburses COBRA premiums collected on your behalf by ACH deposit. The second report that I would like to point out to you is the Qualified Beneficiary Plan Members Report. That is located under Standard Report. Again, you would choose your report type. Qualified beneficiary plan members are down, it's down towards the bottom of that list. This particular report can be run at any time, and it will include a listing of each of your members under the insurance plan and their status. As you saw, there are various reports available to you. I would encourage you to just explore those at your leisure. There may be ones that you'd like to use on a regular basis. Most reports can be run in different formats, as you see down here. So you can certainly choose the best way to access those. One other item under imports and reports, under this report inbox, you will find reports that the employer has generated, so that would be yourself, and you would also find any reports that Pro Benefits has generated on your behalf. One final item that I would like to point out is this help section. It's called Learning Central, and this is a great resource along with the guide we've provided. If I've given you screen vertigo with all the switching back and forth, you can look up any of the items or areas that we've covered. For instance, you could go ahead and review how to terminate an employee. And information on that will appear in here. I would also encourage you to reach out to Pro Benefits with any questions. We have an awesome customer service department and account managers that are available to assist you at any time. And they are always happy to help.